Welcome to Microservices with Spring Boot live lessons. My name is Phil Webb. I work for Pivotal, where I'm a software developer on a number of projects and the co-founder of Spring Boot.
I'm Josh Long. I'm the Spring Developer Advocate for the Spring team at Pivotal and a contributor to a number of open source projects, including Spring Boot.
Spring Boot is an opinionated, production-ready way to consume all of Spring. It builds on Spring Framework's component model with something called auto-configuration. Spring Boot and its auto-configuration approach are now the basis for many popular open source technologies, including JHipster, Grails, Spring XD, and Spring Cloud.
In these lessons, we'll look at how to build microservices that run well in cloud environments, like Cloud Foundry, with Spring Boot and Spring Cloud. We've broken this course down into 10 easy-to-consume lessons.
The first lesson provides an introduction to Spring Boot, including how to bootstrap a new application, what features Spring Boot provides, and some peeking under the hood at how things actually work.
In Lesson 2, we look at how to externalize configuration, credentials and locator information, for example, from an application. This promotes builds that can be moved from one environment to another with ease. We look at the increasingly sophisticated support for this style of configuration in Core Spring, Spring Boot, and Spring Cloud.
Lesson 3 talks about what it means to be cloud native, and we show you how easy it is to run Spring Boot microservices in the cloud. We'll demonstrate how well Spring Boot works with Heroku, Cloud Foundry, and Docker. We'll also look at some other cloud services that provide operations support.
These first 3 lessons should give you a solid foundation on how to write Spring Boot microservices and run them in the cloud. In the remaining lessons, we start to add some meat to the bones by looking at the technologies you need to write functioning applications.
Lesson 4 shows you how to work with data. We cover classic relational databases, newer NoSQL technologies like Redis and MongoDB, and talk about how these technologies fit with microservices.
In Lesson 5, we provide detailed information about the REST architecture, which has become the backbone of microservice communication. In Lesson 6, we go beyond HTTP and look at how to integrate microservices using messaging and batch processing.
Next, in Lesson 7, we look at what it means to actually run microservices. This lesson is all about operations. We discuss some of the great features that are built into Spring Boot, such as monitoring, metrics, and diagnosis tools.
In Lesson 8, we look at the design patterns and techniques that big web giants like Netflix have pioneered to build distributed systems that survive failure.
With Lesson 9, we cover web application development. We obviously can't cover all web development techniques, but we can talk about what it means to consume microservices from a web application and the nice web development features that are built into Spring Boot.
Finally, Lesson 10 provides comprehensive coverage of how to secure your microservices. We cover some advanced topics here, including certificate-based authentication and single sign-on using OAuth. Well, are you ready? Let's go!